I stand before you today representing my entire generation, as well as generations unborn. I stand before you representing the indigenous peoples of this earth. My father raised me in the Mexica tradition. I learned from my father that all life is sacred. I saw that climate change was going to be the defining issue of our time.
I would like to redefine for everyone here, if possible, what is an environmentalist. I think that we all just have that natural birthright to be so. This is defense that we're talking about, defense for our life support system. We have species that we haven't even discovered yet in the rainforest that have been mutilated and are forever lost, and plant lives and medicines and all sorts of amazing properties that take millions of years to develop, and then in a single day we just cut it down, you know, 2 football fields every 2 seconds or something, and it's so that we can have cheaper hamburgers.
Right now it's convenient for us to chop down the rainforest for hamburgers, but when we have no more rainforest left and we are having a hard time breathing.
Right.
Looking at industrialized agriculture and the impact that we have as far as methane escaping from cows, as well as the massive amounts of land and forest that needs to be cleared to grow soy and corn that they feed to the cows, the amount of water that is wasted.
There are no emergency meetings, no headlines, no breaking news. No one is acting as if we were in a crisis. Even most climate scientists or green politicians keep on flying around the world, eating meat and dairy.
I've been vegan since I was 3 years old. At that age, me and my siblings witnessed fish being killed in a really violent and aggressive way, and it was just absolutely obvious that that was something that we didn't want to participate in and we didn't want to support. You know, to me, it seems obvious. I don't want to cause pain to another living, empathetic creature. But certainly it's also, you know, the effect that it has on our environment is devastating. So for me, it's just, it's my life, and it has always been my life, and it's really one of the most important things to me.
If the emissions have to stop, then we must stop the emissions. To me, that is black or white. There are no gray areas when it comes to survival. Either we go on as our civilization or we don't. We have to change.
People are not willing to make any sacrifice. In some way, what we want the government to do, the fallout of that, we must be willing to swallow that, isn't it? In some way. When we are not willing to do it and we just want the government to pull out some magic wand and create a solution, no.
I have stopped flying and I have gone vegan. I have a shop stop. It means you don't buy new things unless you absolutely have to.
The extinction rate is today between 1,000 and 10,000 times higher than what is seen as normal. Are we knowingly causing a mass extinction? Are we evil? No, of course not. People keep doing what they do because the vast majority doesn't have a clue about the actual consequences of our everyday life. If there really was a crisis, and if this crisis was caused by our emissions, you would at least see some signs. Not just flooded cities, tens of thousands of dead people, and whole nations leveled to piles of torn down buildings. You would see some restrictions, but no. And no one talks about it. And yes, we do need hope. Of course we do. But the one thing we need more than hope is action. Once we start to act, hope is everywhere. So instead of looking for hope, look for action. Then, and only then, hope will come.
Climate change is a human rights issue. It is affecting especially developing countries, women, children, and people of color more than anything else.
What's going to be required of us is that for everyone who's sitting in this audience to become an activist, an shaker. A mover and a shaker to shake up what already is, to replace a new vision, a new agenda. We have a human right to clean air, clean water, clean land.
We need to change the fundamental beliefs of our entire society. We have to remember that we are all indigenous to this earth and that we are all connected. Humans have created the greatest crisis that we see on the planet. And the greater the challenge, the higher we will rise to overcome it. Never before has there been such a unifying issue as climate change. And it is time now. Who will stand with me now? For mine and future generations to inherit a healthy, just, and sustainable planet. Who will stand with me now?